in the real spiritual realm, I found my twin. And that's the real one. So like I made a contract in this physical world, but it's not real.
Like, yeah, we had physical kids together and we raised them for 20 years, but I don't have any spiritual kids.
I cut them off like internally, but like they're still like family, right?
You cut them out spiritually.
Yeah.
Did any of you guys know that it's possible to murder somebody using eye drops?
Wow.
Whoa. Eye drops?
Like just non-contaminated eye drops, just regular ass Visine.
And how much?
Visine.
And what do you do? Just keep dripping it in their eye?
No, it's there's something in eye drops that's called tetrahydrozoline, and it's like basically like one of the most important ingredients in there. I guess if you actually ingest it, you can die.
Oh,
but you have to ingest a lot of
Oh, wait, how much though? Like a tub?
Quite a bit. I mean, for an example, like there was like a 70-year-old guy that tried to commit suicide by drinking 8 bottles of it, and
That's easy. Because they're like this small,
It's like
right?
an ounce. It's like an ounce each.
Yeah, dude.
but then he didn't die. He survived. Like I think at
So you needed more. Maybe it was 16.
So if you're able to isolate just the tetrahydrozoline like alone somehow, and get the concentrate of that, then you can really, like. So it's an interesting thing that happened. There was this one woman. She's 39. She's like a lifetime scam artist. Like everything, she has a massive rap sheet throughout her whole life where she's done frauds, like credit fraud, check fraud, every type of fraud and theft you can think of.
Probably my mom's friend.
She ends up becoming friends with this like 60-something-year-old woman.
Asian woman?
Yeah. I'm just meeting you halfway. No, she's Hapa. She's they're both white, and then she basically tries to befriend her because she knows she's rich, plays a long game. Eventually, she ends up spiking her water with 6 vials of tetrahydrozoline.
Oh shit.
And
Was it Clear Eyes? Or Visine?
I don't think it was actually
It's the concentrated.
Yeah, it's the tetrahydrozoline from it.
Oh. So she went wholesale.
I think there's a way,
Super
I
concentrated.
think there's a way to do. It's almost like, you know, like how you make crack or something. There's like a way to like get the tetrahydrozoline.
Bought it on Amazon.
She probably bought the big one and fucking boiled it on the stove until it fucking like reduced.
Beakers and something. Yeah. So
So she gave her that to kill her?
she gave it to her to kill her. She dies, and then when this lady dies, she
Her eyes were clear.
No red eye.
the coroner's like, I'll have what she's having.
Ooh, the clearest eyes I've ever seen. Holy shit.
So she ends up right when this lady dies, like as she's like dead on the bed, the scammer lady goes and opens up accounts in her name and like gains power of attorney somehow through like all these different like forgeries, and then ends up moving up to $300,000 of her money like into her account.
Whoa.
That's so sketchy.
Yeah, and then so she
How did she even do that?
she just did a bunch of she's like a forgery expert.
Dude, she knows how to make Tetris, whatever.
Yeah.
Very talented person.
Yeah, she's very talented. So then she ends up getting caught because this lady's family starts seeing all the financial activity and whatever. She tries to maintain that the woman committed suicide, even though there's massive records of her stealing this lady's money. She's still saying that no, it's suicide, and then she ends up being found guilty of murder. She's sentenced to 30 years, and in her like final words like to the family, she's like, I swear she killed herself, it's not me. Like she's still
Wow.
she's one of those scammers that has the ability to like, in order to like pull off a successful grift, you have to like believe that what you're saying is true. And it's just a great example of someone that really genuinely looks locked in.
Like the ultimate game of mafia.
Yeah, exactly. And she can't even like step out of it, and they're just sitting there going, we have all of the evidence. Like everything shows that you opened up JCPenney accounts the day she was dying.
She's like, she did that. I didn't do that.
And then she's just like, she was like, she had like a final statement, and she's like, I just want to say that never take mental health for granted. You never know when your loved ones are gonna kill themselves.
Suicide hotline 1-800.
Damn.
To all the way to like her, I mean, she's gonna be in jail. Like the judge was like, you're getting 30 years, but I wish I could give you 80 because of how crazy you are.
I like it when judges throw in their own 2 cents.
yeah.
They're saying that she was like a career like criminal that was like a fraud expert that got so fucking good that like she knew that like she could get away with murder if she like
Did it a certain
she
way.
could do like an ultimate fraud and just take someone's whole thing. And then she was just bad at like the murder part,
Did they do an autopsy or like how
cover
did
up part. Yeah, they knew it was tetrahydrozoline.
Damn.
Because they found that she tried to set up a fake crime scene where she tried to make a false suicide. She like laid the body down and then put like a plate on the lady's chest and then ground up all these pills and just like put them on the plate. It's like almost like a very juvenile
Yeah.
like scene.
So
Yeah.
Why would it be on a plate? That's so
I
weird.
don't know.
Because it fell perfectly on her chest.
Right, yeah.
yeah.
If you had to kill somebody and you had to craft a perfect crime scene for your first time, like, imagine that. Like, you're
Yeah.
gonna fuck it up. I don't understand why people will try to do this.
That's the hardest part is the after you like what to do
cover
after.
up.
Yeah, the murder.
It's like someone shoots someone in the back of the head, and then they try to make it seem like suicide, and then they point the gun like this. And
Oh, wow.
I think like in order to do that correctly, you have to be focusing on that your whole life.
Yeah.
Like the grifting part, she could have just been a, just
she needed to partner up with like a murderer.
She needed to delegate.
Yeah, why
But
didn't she
she's
just
too greedy.
hire-
She's like, I'll do it for myself.
And then she needs the freaking dude from John Wick that shows up, the cleaner guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She did it the reverse way. She should have started getting the accounts first, like in secret, and then using her money to hire an assassin to kill her.
Yeah, I mean, she tried. It looks like she was doing it in small doses prior.
Yeah.
Which is what I think what happened was the lady was like loaning her money. She wasn't giving it to her.
Oh, so
But then when she died, she tried to say that the lady was gifting her.
oh,
And
right.
then, but then it also doesn't help that under that lady's name, she took out a bunch of loans as well in her name falsely. So they were like,
The day that she died.
did she
so it's
do
like,
that
how
too?
could-
Yeah,
how
it's
could
like
she?
it's so like painstakingly obvious that this lady like committed this like
But delusional people, they'll act like you never even asked that question.
exactly, yeah.
Oh, so she really fucked up. She took out loans on the day.
Even in the picture of them as friends, she looks like she's waiting to scam this poor lady.
Which one's the scammer? The one on the left or the one on the right?
She's the scammer.
Oh.
She looks grateful to have a friend. She just looks like she's biding her time.
Yeah, yeah.
Isn't that funny? Yeah.
Why is the blonde lady so rich?
I don't. It doesn't say. I feel like maybe. Well, it looks like the blonde lady's like, I don't know, maybe widowed or divorced.
Because 300K, and it looks like the 70s and shit, or whatever it is. That's like a lot of money back then.
Yeah.
I mean, still not now, but I think back then that was like $1 million now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe
It's
more.
definitely a lot of money. But pretty crazy that like how committed she is. Like knowing she's gonna spend the rest of her life in jail and she's still like maintaining her innocence.
Do you guys know anyone that delusional?
Maybe not to that far.
Where you talk to them and you know they're lying, but then they, no matter what, they're just, nah, this is the truth. But
My
it's
dad's
not.
like that.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. I know
really-
a couple of people too, like my uncle can be like that, but like not that severe.
Yeah.
But I think it's like a trait of people with major trauma and they're really good at making up shit in their mind.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then I have a cousin like that too.
Damn.
She'll just make shit up. And no matter what you tell her, it just goes over her head. And then she'll have like a dream world. She'll justify anything that she does. And like,
With no facts. It's just,
nah, it's just pure delusion. And yeah, it's like they have their own belief of how the world is. And they'll do things that are kind of shady. But they'll do some mental gymnastics to make it like, oh yeah, God told me to do it.
Oh.
Or like it's so justified and it's so correct in their mind. But it was like, you had an affair. You completely fucking destroyed this person or whatever. They can't admit to that. They'll be like, Well, they'll find some type of thing like in New Age spirituality that says like, this person is your soulmate, this person's your twin or whatever, right?
Twin
And then-
flames.
Yeah, you heard of that shit where they're like
yeah,
we're
yeah,
twin
yeah.
flames.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh yeah, well in the physical realm, yeah, I'm technically married to this person, but like, in the real spiritual realm, I found my twin, and that's the real one. So like I made a contract in this physical world, but it's not real.
Like, yeah, we had physical kids together and we raised them for 20 years, but I don't have any spiritual kids. My spiritual kids is with this.
Don't just make shit up.
Loony, dude.
And like,
That's fucking crazy.
you know, they'll reach out to me as if nothing ever happened that was wrong.
But
I
on the
only
flip
had
side,
physical
they're
orgasms.
so
Never had any spiritual orgasms.
But I think on the flip side, they're so forgiving that they can't fathom that other people have non-negotiables. So they themselves are just like always accepting and fine, and they'll like let a lot of things pass.
Right, yeah.
So they just like, what's wrong with you? Why can't we be friends? You know, it's like it's weird. It's fucking
they
weird.
flip it on
That's
you.
funny.
Yeah.
Now that you say that, yeah, that's a thing that you'll hear from those same people.
Yeah, they're really good at gaslighting too.
Yeah, when they're like, "What's the big deal?
Yeah.
Why can't we just move forward?"
Because they themselves, like, I could probably be as shady as fuck to them,
Yeah.
and then they'll just be like, oh, people make mistakes. We can still be cool.
Yeah, they're like, Bushido, Mushido, what's a code? Don't live life on no codes.
So I was like, damn, you know what? I think I grew up with a lot of sociopaths and psychopaths
Yeah.
in my family. And I just understood how to like navigate with that type of behavior.
Yeah.
So then I think the ability that I have is to be able to cut people off no matter how close they are very quickly.
That's important because like what else can you do when you're talking to someone who doesn't even believe like
You can't-
anything that
Yeah.
exists is real, you know?
But I think I cut them off like internally, but like they're still like family, right? So they still have to be around. So the hard thing to navigate is they're still gonna be around, and they haven't technically done anything wrong to me directly. So it's like maneuvering through that is such a weird dynamic because most people would just be like, "Oh fuck you, I'm done."
You cut them out spiritually.
Yeah. Physically.
Physically, you're still around.
You're doing what they're doing.
Imagine that's how they get hurt. Joe cut me out spiritually.
Probably hurts way more.
I could